And you, Photons, say man down. Which photons? Where are the photons? There are obviously no photons involved because during a solar eclipse, it's the light source itself being blocked by the moon. We're in this old familiar place again, aren't we? We seem to keep coming back here where you don't have explanations for any of these questions I'm going to ask you. So why am I even going to bother asking you? I can tell you the answers to them, but because they don't coincide with your science, you're not going to accept them. And instead you'll say, no, we have empirical evidence. What's it like not understanding any of the science that explained to you, but you believe that there is empirical evidence? What's that like? I was going to ask you these questions, but as the evening's gone on, and I was, what's the point? We're here again, aren't we? We're here again. Why is the sun directly behind the moon during the solar eclipse? Why? Why? The photon, the 8-minute and 20-second light delay because of photons that are travelling at 299,792,458 meters per second. No, they're not. There are no photons. It's a myth. The sun and the moon are in line with the sweet spot on planet Earth. I'm not even going to go towards the flat Earth. I'm not gonna. The one thing that is so obvious, right? It's obvious. The sun is directly behind the moon. Whether it be 150 million kilometers away or 50 meters behind the moon, there is no light delay. There is no light delay. See, science wants its cake and it wants to eat it too, and the next person's cake, and the next person's cake. Are there photons that are taking 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us from the sun? Because if there are, the sun would not be directly behind the moon because of the 2.08 degrees axis spin the Earth does in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You know it, and I know it. So what game are you playing? Right? It's so obvious, right? But no, because there's empirical evidence somewhere else, and there is apparently another logical explanation for why the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. Just that nobody seems to have it. See, it's so simple what's actually happening, right? To find an explanation that isn't the obvious, it's kind of borderline insane. We don't care about your common sense, said science. If this is finite light, if this solar eclipse, the ones that you see playing out, you think are playing out with finite light that's traveling 299,792 kilometers per second, what would it look like if it was absolute light? Explain to me how the solar eclipse would play out if light were absolute. See, it's so stupid. I'm going to tell you, it would play out exactly the way it does now. Isn't that common sense a bitch? It's frustrating to be on this side, seeing the other side. And you guys are telling me that I need to get an education, that I need to go to more physics classes. Really? Let's go to the tides. The 4 highest tides. Why? How? The moon is orbiting along the equator. There's a bulge, you know. Front and back, a bulge. The bulge, should it not be at the equator? Yes, in the pretty pictures they draw for you guys, it is in the middle. But the 4 highest tides just so happen to all be kind of 20 to 30 degrees south of the North Pole. That is nowhere near the equator. Simon Dan, you know it and I know it, right? We have the Bay of Fundy, which we both spoken about a few times, Ungava Bay in Quebec, the Bristol Channel in Old Blighty, and the Cook Inlet in Alaska. Now, why is it these 4 locations up north so far away from where this action is at the equator, all this bulge and stuff? Why? Now we could do it again. You've got, what is it, Newton's empirical evidence, because he worked it out. Maybe nobody else could. It was a Newton thing, and he took the secret with him. Is that what we believe, Simon Dan? I will tell you why those 4 places that are up north, I'm going to tell you probably why that is. What you'll find is, no, the moon has no gravitational pull on anything, right? Common sense thing again. There is no pattern to be found. You think there is. We've known for thousands of years. Oh, we can predict it. You couldn't predict your next. Now, I lost my train of thought. There is no pattern. You, for some reason, refuse to try and look into it. Your answer to everything, you've been trained. Sit. Woof. Want to go for a walk? You've been trained to say, there is empirical evidence. That's it. It's your punchline. That's not science. That is you demonstrating that you don't understand. You don't understand what you believe. You can't explain it. You can't explain it. You never can. You just say, well, we have records of that go on for centuries, yada yada. It's getting pretty lame, Simon Dan. The reason that you don't understand is because the science that you're believing doesn't have logical answers for these questions. It's probably because they're wrong. It's probably because they're wrong, which is why you were told to drop the common sense. The universe doesn't have to make sense to you. You trust us. We'll tell you. We'll keep you well informed about what's happening. Oh, I didn't go on to tell you what I think. I think there is a very, very good chance. I'm not going to say it's flat. There's a very good chance that Earth is flat. The moon has nothing to do with any of the water movement on Earth. Anybody who says, yes, but Newton is probably a myth, right? There is something else displacing the water on Earth. And there is a good chance that it is flat. There is a very good chance. See, lots of us who can think for ourselves, we switch what we believe, we change our belief system at the drop of a hat. When new evidence comes along, if something comes along that disproves something that I believe, I don't throw my teddy in the corner and get the shits. I change what I believe. It's the smart thing to do. When you stay put, believing the same old illogical rubbish day after day, it cannot be healthy, especially when you get the shits. Drop it. When new information comes along that disproves, this just doesn't quite match up with the stuff that you believe, and on looking into that information a little bit closer, you find that just here and there are little tidbits that make sense. Make the move. Don't stick with the absurdities, Simon Dan. Seriously, all of you, wake up. There is something else displacing the water on a flat Earth. It is not the moon. There is no pattern. There's just absolutely nothing to suggest the moon is doing anything to the water. All you have is empirical evidence. Tons of it. Thousands of years. Look, we have records that go back so far, your head will spin. Folks, wake up. The science behind a 5-minute to a 60-minute slack water zone. How? Earth spinning. The moon. All of us around the sun. Seriously? Can you not see that it's not happening? Look, the reason that there is a 5-minute to a 60-minute tide comes up and stops. An hour. That moon, Earth's still spinning, get out. But there it is, the water's right there. It's not moving, Simon Dam. And then, at the count of 3, 2, 1, it drops back the same way that it came in. The bulge, would it not be like a roller coaster ride? Woo, woo, like a Mexican wave. But no, comes up, stops, has a cigarette, a coffee break, and then drops back the same way it came. And I'm the problem. I'm the problem. You guys need to wake up. I could do this all night. It's just the garbage. The garbage that people are believing. The science that nobody gets. Only Einstein could work out this, that, and the other. Clever Einstein. Nobody else could work it out. What was the other one? Was the other one Newton? Did he do the calculus? Calculus. Calculus was invented to support the absurdity. God, can you not see that yet? God, this has been fun. Whew. Right. There are no photons. The sun is directly behind the moon because it's either flat and it's local, or it's a long way away, but it is absolute light. You are not having your cake and eating it too, or the next person's, or the next person's, or mine. If that is finite light, how would it play out with absolute light? Again, just like that, okay? It's common sense. You need to bring it back into play, folks, before it's too late. Why are the 4 highest tides all up north? Bay of Fundy and Garver Bay, Bristol Channel and the Cook Inlet. I'll tell you why. Because it's probably flat. And those places are kind of central. North Pole, 20, 30 degrees down. And something is displacing the water. It's almost like something's breathing. It is. Laugh. It's way more logical than the crap that you guys are believing. Something else is displacing the water on a flat Earth. Probably. It's not the moon. It's not the moon. There is no way it's the moon. There is no pattern to be had. Check for a moon and then check your tides. And just keep doing that for a week or two and tell yourself that there is a pattern there. But we've known for thousands of years. We can predict it. You couldn't. I said that already. Look, I've got a funny feeling I've skipped the 15 and probably on our way to 30 minutes. Oh! No, I'm not. 14:28. Listen. I'm done. Mickey Mouse science. Oh, it really does. This is the kind of attitude it gives me, finding myself here again. All right, folks, listen. Stay frosty. Start thinking for yourselves. All of this, there is science behind it, but not Mickey Mouse science. All right, folks.